Now on paper, Clash in Italy has the potential to be one of the standout PLEs of 2026. The two male world title matches could easily be match of the year contenders, and the undercard features two WrestleMania 42 rematches. With that being said, one of the most interesting things about this particular match card is that a lot of the matches could go either way, and WWE may be tempted to throw in a few twists and turns to create a PLE that is incredibly memorable. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the most shocking last-minute rumors that you need to know about Clash in Italy 2026. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. However, just before we get into rumor number one, Clash in Italy of course will be live this weekend and streaming live on ESPN in the US. If you're residing in the US and wish to watch the show via your current Netflix account, you could do so via a VPN. And also if you're in the US and you want to catch SmackDown earlier than expected, as it will be airing live from Spain, and of course want to avoid any spoilers, well again you can do so via the VPN. Simply head to nordvpn.com/Wrestlelamia and want to save up to 75% off, then sign up today. Again, I'm always grateful for your continued support. Number 1. Sol Ruca snatches gold. Now, was it too soon for Sol Ruca to win the women's intercontinental title? Well, perhaps. However, there are a few signs that indicate that WWE may be gearing towards a surprise title switch at Clash in Italy this weekend. One of the biggest issues within the Raw Women's division right now is the presentation of world champion Liv Morgan. WWE has presented her as a complete afterthought on the brand, and they are basically going through the motions until Stephanie Vaquer is medically cleared to return. WWE needs to act fast to stop this world title reign from becoming a total car crash, and one of the ways they could do this is by reinserting Lynch into the world title picture. Now this isn't the worst idea in the world, as Lynch can switch to a babyface act within one single promo segment. Hopefully if WWE does pull the trigger and Ruca wins the women's intercontinental title this weekend, then the incredibly strong presentation of the title continues without Lynch associated with the title. The title itself has been defended on countless PLEs, and it's basically a given that the title will be featured at every major PLE event. A lot of the fans believe that this is exclusively down to the title being associated with Lynch, so hopefully WWE proves everyone wrong and the title remains one of the strongest titles in the entire company. Number 2. Charlotte Flair turns heel. The feud between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill is heavily rumored to be wrapping up at Clash in Italy, and it's looking likely that Ripley walks out having retained the WWE Women's title. But now WWE has actively been teasing future opponents for Ripley on the Blue brand, and here are some of the most rumored names in line for a title shot. As number 1, Charlotte Flair, as fans are convinced that Flair vs Rhea Ripley are going to run back their WrestleMania 39 Classic at SummerSlam this year. This match has been teased on television and the two have even joined forces for recent matches. This is one of the biggest matches in the women's division for WWE to book right now, and the question is, does WWE turn Flair heel? Flair has been a babyface for over a year now, and the pairing with Alexa Bliss has been highly regarded. Some fans believe it's now time for Flair to turn to the dark side once again, and could Flair stake a claim for the title after Ripley's successful title defense in Italy? What about Alexa Bliss? WWE moving forward with an Alexa Bliss vs Rhea Ripley feud would be an interesting move, as having Charlotte Flair in the middle could make for excellent TV segments on SmackDown. WWE could even use this rivalry to set the stage for Flair vs Ripley at SummerSlam, and they could even plant the seeds that Flair is going to turn her back on the fans and seek world title gold once again. But there's also a new contender on the Blue brand, and that being Blake Monroe, as Blake Monroe debuted in the most underwhelming manner possible on SmackDown last week, and WWE will have sure seen the negative feedback online, and will be looking to get a main roster run back on course. One of the ways WWE could easily achieve this is by having Monroe make her presence felt after the Ripley vs Cargill match. WWE could then easily build to a Monroe vs Ripley match potentially at Night of Champions next month in Saudi Arabia. Number 3. Brock Lesnar gets squashed again. Now, every fan is assuming that Brock Lesnar is going to get his win back at Clash in Italy against Femi. But is this really what WWE is thinking right now? If Lesnar defeats Femi and evens the score at 1-1, the most natural step in the story is for Femi to defeat Lesnar, ending the feud in the process. However, what if Femi squashes Lesnar once again? Could you imagine the reaction from fans who would clearly be expecting a Lesnar victory? Seeing them get swerved and WWE once again go all in on one of their future stars could create another viral moment that WWE and TKO craves. Is this unlikely? Yeah, but it may even be more impactful than the WrestleMania moment because nobody sees it coming. WWE is clearly telling a story with Lesnar that he was humbled at WrestleMania. What type of mindset would the character of Lesnar have if lightning strikes twice? This could give Lesnar a fascinating character arc heading into his final match, which appears to be at SummerSlam this coming August. Number 4. Randy Orton returns. Now, is Randy Orton about to return at Clash in Italy? Well, this is one of the most prominent rumours on social media currently, and there's a ton of evidence that gives these rumours credibility. As number one, Randy Orton is advertised. And for months, Randy Orton has been advertised for international dates, including the final SmackDown before Clash in Italy, which is said to take place in Spain. Whilst the card is always subject to change in WWE, it's rather bizarre that they haven't removed him this late in the game. We all know that the European crowds treat Orton like an absolute hero, so it would make sense to see Orton return in time for the PLE. Orton himself has also stated how much he loves the international crowds, so hopefully Orton is ready to go. Number 2, Randy Orton isn't injured. It was reported a number of weeks ago that the WWE great was off television as he was injured. Orton himself had debunked these reports, and he claims that he was just resting up ahead of coming back to WWE television. Orton has also stated that he's coming for world title number 15, and this will likely lead to a SummerSlam program. And number 3, Randy Orton vs Cody Rhodes Part 2 is coming, as fans are pushing for WWE to finally deliver Randy Orton vs Cody Rhodes without any nonsensical elements attached to it. The WrestleMania match and feud was completely ruined thanks to the involvement of Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll, and WWE have now been urged to run it back, potentially at SummerSlam, without any various hijinks. Now, if Orton does return, logic would suggest he costs his arch-rival Rhodes the WWE title, right? But wouldn't it be more impactful if Orton returns after the match and challenges Rhodes to a future showdown? This would be a very smart way to book Orton's return, especially with the match airing on ESPN, as it gives new viewers a reason to tune in into subsequent shows. Number 5, Sami Zayn shatters the dream. As Sami Zayn officially turned his back on WWE Champion Cody Rhodes on SmackDown recently, and there are now rumours that this huge angle is going to continue at Clash in Italy. A lot of fans firmly believe that Zayn is going to double down on his betrayal of Rhodes by costing him the title. This would be a major shock to say the very least, but with Rhodes vs Gunther set to open up the show via ESPN, WWE may want to create a memorable moment that convinces ESPN viewers to stick with the product. Zayn costing Rhodes the title would then open the door for a realm of new storylines on the SmackDown brand. Zayn and Rhodes could engage in a non-title feud, and with them never having a full-blown 1v1 feud before, this would be a welcome change of pace for the blue brand. WWE could then have Gunther reign at the top of SmackDown, and WWE could slowly build up new babyface challenges for the ring general. And Jacob Fatu reigns supreme. Now, there are a ton of rumors that suggest that Roman Reigns is now going to finally put over Jacob Fatu at Clash in Italy. The match is now confirmed to be the main event of the PLE, and this must have been done for a reason. Is WWE going to fully commit to getting behind Fatu, and are they finally going to crown Fatu World Heavyweight Champion at Clash in Italy, making him the new megastar of the Raw brand? Well, there are 4 reasons why this is being rumoured right now. As number 1, Roman Reigns isn't working Night of Champions. There's been a ton of speculation surrounding Roman Reigns' WWE status. Initially, it looked like he wasn't going to be working any dates in the month of June, but this has now been debunked. But with that being said, it still doesn't look like he's going to work Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, which may persuade WWE to pull the trigger and crown a brand new World Heavyweight Champion in Italy this weekend. Number 2, Roman Reigns wants to put over Fatu. Roman Reigns has actively gone out of his way to make Jacob Fatu look as good as humanly possible during their feud. Reigns has been selling phenomenally, and we can't rule out that Reigns wants to do the favour for his own family member and make Fatu the next big star in the company. Number 3, the gimmick needs credibility. The Tribal Combat match gimmick doesn't have the best credibility as a concept. The first match at SummerSlam back in 2023 was heavily panned, and the Reigns vs Solo Sikoa match last year didn't exactly light the world on fire. If WWE and Reigns want this gimmick to be taken seriously moving forward, then it needs to land in Italy this weekend. But what better way to do this than by having Fatu win the world title? A lot of fans are complaining that the added Tribal Combat stipulation and the idea of Fatu becoming the new Tribal Chief automatically means that Reigns is winning. Unfortunately, these complaints do have a ton of credence, but WWE will no doubt see these complaints and may decide to pull off one of the most shocking title changes in recent memory. And truly, this is what WWE needs right now. They've just been on autopilot ever since WrestleMania 42. We really need something right now to stay tuned in and make the product more interesting. And number 4, the Bloodline lore needs a huge reset. The Bloodline is firmly back in business, yet there is concern from fans that WWE is doing the same angles over and over and over again, and there is a push for WWE to deliver something new with the angle. Jacob Fatu winning the world title is exactly what the next chapter of the Bloodline storyline needs, and Fatu walking into Raw on Monday with all the power in the world could create such a compelling dynamic for the summer months. What do you guys think? Is Jacob Fatu ready to win the big one at Clash in Italy? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.